Hello guys, welcome back to Comic Book Cafe. This time around we're reviewing Martian Manhunter Volume 4, Issue 2. Now, the first issue basically capped off with the whole story starting off with Martian Manhunter. This is not an origin story or anything. It's just kind of one of those jump right into the action kind of series. So you know that he's done something bad, that he's been used to plan an attack against the Earth. So we start the second issue with him sitting there, the terrorist attacks going on, and he's kind of, he's like, tells a be a hero, to himself. And then next we see him talk to Helen about this thing they made, and it originally was supposed to be like a trans-dimensional thing, but instead ends up just destroying stuff. And he says, so it's a weapon. And she's like, that's not what we made it for. And so as that all happens, here shows up Superman, who of course is a new, less powerful Superman, but yet still more powerful than a human Superman. Obviously a fellow Justice League member, like Martian Manhunter. And he's like, how did you know these attacks were happening before they had happened? And he tells him, they used me to plan them. And then we go to Mr. Biscuit, the aka grasshopper alien looking guy, with the little girl, obviously from last issue, and they're in a, going through a subway or whatever, and they, and he's not sure whether he's a, good guy or a bad guy or anything like that. He doesn't know. He just knows about biscuits and stuff, and he eventually gets on the track, finds a train, and that's how you end it. They're thinking the train's going to hit him. So then Superman and, Martian Manhunter, they start throwing down, fighting, and then, as the fight goes on, then all of a sudden, Martian Manhunter turns into this big hulking thing. He goes, you don't really know what race I am, and he turns this big hulking thing, and, then you hear, well, if you are, why are you changing into this? And you see Wonder Woman, The Flash, and Cyborg, fellow Justice League America members, and then you see them all fight, but then you find out Superman, gets back up and shows up saying, what's going on? And then, Wonder Woman's like, well, we had an epic battle with him, and he's like, no, he put images in our heads, and he realizes it was a ploy. Now, again, you find Martian Manhunter inside that, Helen talked about that weapon thing that was supposed to be a weapon, and he's like, they're coming after me. I can't let this happen to this planet. And he hits the button, and, you see the Flash's, like, painful face, grin away from it, and you see him, looks like he's killed himself. That's all you know. And that's how you end that. And then we see Mr. Biscuit, who says, didn't see that coming, after he stopped the train. And you're not sure whether he's talking about the train, or whether he's talking about Martian Manhunter, because he seems to have some kind of link or bond with them in some way. And he's like, girl, we gotta, he tells the girl blatantly, he doesn't know if he's good or evil. And then he's like, we gotta go and we gotta save the world. She's like, from what? He was like, from Martians. And that's how the book ends. There was a lot of action in this book between him and the Justice League. Again, you see the Martian Manhunter conflicted with what's going on. Like, he wants to be a hero, but everywhere he goes, he ends up being alone, and he ends up causing a war. And so he's always conflicted, and that's what his mindset is going in. That he's, he knows they used him to plan this attack. He knows that what the memories in his heads are a lie, that he isn't the last Martian, that he was due for this attack, and they know he's not active doing what they want, so they're going to come and kill him. Now, also in this book, I didn't get to, was there was a girl in Dubai. The aliens called her Pearl. They're chasing her down, shooting at her, and in her head, Martian Manhunter's helping her escape. And she escapes. So, I don't know her relationship between Martian Manhunter, what that is. She doesn't know him. Clearly makes it known. She jumps like insanely amount of height to this boat, and she doesn't understand how she could do that. We don't know what her character is or what she plays in this book yet. But again, a lot of cool things going on. Like, here he is fighting his own Justice League, and he's supposed to be a hero, but yet he's actually been employed to cause, destruction the possible destruction of the planet, and he knows it, and he feels bad about it. So the only way he can stop them from come after him, destroy the planet, is to kill himself, which is the ultimate act, in a way, of a hero, to sacrifice himself to save others. Overall, really good book. I really like the art style. It's not too late, like, even though it's the second issue, it's not too late to jump in kind of book. It's not like, oh, you have to read the first issue. You can't piece some of it together in the second issue. You can. It is good to read the first one if you want to know the whole story, but you don't have to read the second issue. Overall, I love the artwork of this book. I like the different layers of the story. Martian Man versus himself. Manhunter versus these unknown enemies that are going to come after him because he has done what they wanted. Him, versus Justice League because they don't understand what's going on, and they want to help him, but he doesn't want them to help. He doesn't want them to help. He feels like he's let them and everybody down. This girl in Dubai, who is she? A lot of different layers going on, which makes for a very interesting story. Where they ultimately go, who knows? It's only the second issue, but enjoying the relaunch of this book. I think I see this way too often with a lot of books. A lot of these relaunches have been very interesting. The fact it's not like, oh, here he is, he's this great hero. It's like, yeah, he's this great hero, but it could very well cause a demise, and he's been used as a tool for ultimately could be the destruction of the planet. Anyway, what do you guys think of Martian Manhunter, Volume 4, Issue 2? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Well, that was a very good book. I thought, this story stays within its context. It doesn't get out of control. Again, it's only the second issue. Later on, that could have very well happened, but for now, a really cool story. If you haven't read it, you should definitely try to check it out. And if you're looking for another book, maybe Martian Manhunter might be the one to get on board, because it's not too late to get on board with it being very early in this launch of this new Volume 4 of the Martian Manhunter. So anyway, thanks for watching like always, guys. I'll make another video soon. Later.